What do we do when conflicts turn physical? Okay, when they become violent. I think one of the first questions we ask when we come to something like that is, can you save the marriage after something like this happens? So there are two situations, okay? If the conflict or if the violence was situational, that would mean that there was a conflict that was going on and things got out of hand, and one partner, one spouse pushed the other or hit the other. But after that, they felt a lot of remorse. They were actually very apologetic. And when I say apologetic, I mean they apologized in a way where they took complete responsibility for what went down. Instead of saying, if you hadn't said this, I wouldn't have done this. If you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have pushed you. Instead, they say, it was all me. Okay. Situational violence happens in both genders. The man could be the one who instigated it. The woman could be the one who instigated it. Whatever it is, the way to fix that is acknowledge that there was a problem. Also acknowledge that you probably have very poor conflict resolution skills, and then get professional help. So that means going to a counselor, talking to people in your community, people that who you know are community leaders who can help you through this. So that's situational violence. And also it's important to note that any kind of violence, whether it's situational or the other one that I'm going to be talking about, hitting somebody, pushing somebody in your family, these are all criminal behaviors and they come under family violence in Texas law. So let's be clear that it's not a small thing to push somebody or hit somebody or slap somebody in your household. Then we talk about something that's harder to talk about, which is characterological violence. Anytime two people get together, when a couple is together, there's going to be power struggle. Okay, one person is always going to try to take power of the situation or be in control or decide things. That's normal. That happens. But if there is one person, and again, it could be the male or the female or the husband or the wife in our context, if they're trying to take complete charge, if they're trying to have complete power in their marriage, then that's a problem. Okay, what do I mean by power? Let's look at okay, what you see here is the Dalit model that we kind of defer to understand what power and control looks like. So this, if somebody is using any of these in any combination, we are talking about domestic abuse. If your partner, if your husband is trying to dominate you, is trying to control you, is trying to make you feel like you have no power, that's domestic abuse. They do that by financial abuse, not giving you money, not letting you work, and keeping a check on all the money that you spend. That's a problem, okay? If they're using isolation as a tactic, they're not letting you see your family. They're keeping tabs on all the friends that you have. They're going through your phone all the time, seeing who came, who you talked to. That's a problem. If they're threatening you, and sometimes in abuse, they will threaten you or the children or your family. And at times they will even say, I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'll commit suicide if you try to leave me, or I'll do this if you tell anybody this is going on. And after doing all of that, they will either minimize what they did or go in denial or accuse other people of their behavior, of why they did that. For instance, they'll say, you know, I hit you because that's what my dad used to do. So, okay, there is generational violence. It goes from one generation to the other. We know that. That could be an explanation for abuse, but it's never an excuse for it. So if this person continues to deny responsibility for what they're doing, even if they apologize afterwards, they don't take full responsibility, you know that's a problem. Most marriage counselors would not even consider working with you if they see this kind of violence is going on in the family, where one person is trying to take complete control. Okay, he's trying to run the marriage completely. I'm not an expert, and I don't need to tell you, but you know that this is not the kind of marriage Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted for you. This is not the idea of marriage in Islam. And it's just not normal behavior, it's pathological behavior. And it's important to call it that. So then the question comes, okay, I am in this relationship. What do I do? The answer, and I don't say this very lightly, is that you have to leave this relationship. Okay. No amount of your attention, no amount of your love, no amount of your patience is going to change this person. This is not Beauty and the Beast. This is not fantasy. Okay, this is real life. You cannot change this person. You're going to have to leave. But I'll tell you what is real life and what is not fantasy is that women have left relationships like that. They continue to leave them and they get better lives afterward. If you read Surah Talaq, it talks about, very important legal rules on how divorce should take place. But repeatedly in the surah, Allah says that if you're worried about risk, I'll take care of you. Are you afraid of things? I'll take care of you. I will give you something better. Those promises. And if you actually read the surah, it sounds kind of out of context that, okay, there are all these legal rulings, but then he's coming down to human level and saying, I know you're worried about these things, but I've got you. So before you even look at other resources, before you even look for community to help you, before you look in your families or friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is promising you that I've got you. I'm going to take care of you. So let's begin there.